Good evening, everyone. Today is the 25th of January. We're going to be talking about stress, sleep, and emotions. For those of you who are just joining us, getting on for the first time, this is our part of an 8-week wellness education series that we started actually last week, and we're going to be continuing it for the next 6 weeks. Today is part 2, stress, sleep, and emotions. And all of these presentations are going to be recorded and they're going to be available for you on YouTube. So if you, and I'm going to actually post a slide in about 10 seconds because I want to make sure that everyone has the YouTube link and knows how to get there. And I'm going to ask actually a favor of you, if you could take about 20 seconds once we get started to just go on to YouTube and subscribe, because really that's the way that we most easily can pass the message to our friends and family members and other people. And once we're subscribed, you know, there were well over 150 videos on there now of all different topics. So if you're looking for some information about using essential oils, that's really the place that you want to go to. So while I get started here, everyone's saying good morning, good evening. So good to see you. I hope that you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, if I can see your face, if you could give me just a thumbs up, that would be terrific. And you know, I'm working with 2 different screens, so sometimes I'm looking to the side, but I'm really looking at all of you. And I just want you to know that I'm here with you, and I think it's gonna be a good presentation today. It's a little long, so if you don't have a cup of coffee yet, please get one, and then let's really get down to brass tacks, but I wanna make sure that you got tons of information today and that the information that you're getting is exactly what you need, because I think that's the most important. So here we go, Wellness Education Series. And I'm going to have you take a minute, if you will, and go into your, go onto YouTube. I'm going to post the link right now. We've done this before, but I want to make sure that we're getting the information right now, because sometimes we wait until the end to do this, and then it gets really complicated. Okay, I just posted the link, the YouTube link. If you could take a second, just click on that link and subscribe. I know I usually tell this to you at the end of the call, but by then everybody's so excited. All they want to do is get onto the prizes. If you're listening to this live, we've got some great prizes for you today, as we always do. If you're on the live, if you're listening to the recording, I'm sorry you can't get a prize, but I know you can join us in the future and have access to some of the prizes. So if you've had a chance to click on the YouTube recording and you've subscribed already, tell me in the chat subscribed. I'm giving you a minute, and I'm just going to hold on here. You can see we've got tons of videos on there. Some of the ones, great. Janice, thank you. Teresa and Megan, great. David, love it. I'm going to hold on because I know sometimes it takes a minute to go onto another website, open up a browser, and to get into YouTube and subscribe. Want to make sure also that when you have a video and you really like it, that you're passing the word along, right? I know that you can, once you get onto YouTube, you can kind of speed forward to the place that you want. And I've even seen some of you, thank you, Novilia, Pamela, Debbie, really appreciate it. Some of you actually send out, I love this when you post, sometimes you'll say, such and such a segment starts here. And I love when I see that in some of the chats, whether this is posted. And you know this is posted also to all of our Facebook groups. So don't usually start so slowly. I usually jump right into the information, but today I'm going a little bit more slowly because I want to make sure that everyone is subscribed. Okay, we're going to wait one more second. Okay, Pushpa, thank you. Richard, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone subscribing. Okay, so next thing we want to talk about is what's coming next. We know that in the month of January, we've had a lot of specials. We've had a lot of different things going on. doTERRA's been super busy making sure that we have lots of information and also new products coming out. So for those of you who haven't heard yet, you know that next month we are going to be starting a 21-day challenge. Whoops, I didn't need to go that far. Hold on, a 21-day challenge. Oh, go back. There we go, okay. And starting the 1st of February, if you are interested, all you have to do is text the word healthy to 386-457 to join. And if you text 386-457 to the word healthy, oh no, sorry, just the opposite. You're texting healthy to 386. You'll be entered to kind of join this healthy movement that's going on in doTERRA. Most of it is based on a new nutritional product set that we just brought out over the last few weeks. 21 days, 21-day challenge starting on February 1st. I've been talking about this for the last few weeks, so many of you already know about it. How many of you have texted healthy? Let me know in the chat if you've already texted healthy to the 386 number. I want to find out because I know some of you are in different regions. I know that today we're talking to mostly Southeast Asia, but we're also talking to Europe and some people from the United States and the Americas in general. Okay, so our 21-day challenge is going to be based on our natural nutrition and support everyday package, which is a series of proteins, fibers, and greens. You can use them together. You can use them separately. What I love about especially the nutritional products is they can be added into a healthy diet. And if you had a very busy holiday season, which I know some of you have, and some of you, thank you, Danny, for telling me that you subscribed. I really appreciate it. If you've had a really busy holiday season and now you're thinking, oh my goodness, maybe I ate too much or I drank too much, this is a wonderful way for you to get started. Here's the other exciting news for today. I don't know if you've heard, some of you may have heard and some of you have not. There is a BOGO today and tomorrow. I know that sounds crazy, folks, because we don't usually have a BOGO in the middle of January or the end of January. It sounds like a crazy thing to me, but doTERRA is always doing some sort of crazy things. If you buy Yarrow Palm, so if you buy the Active Botanical, you will get, that's the essential oil supplement, not the capsules. You will receive the anti-aging eye cream and the tea tree for free for 2 days only. So you do have a 2-day window. It's today and tomorrow, but there is a BOGO going on. And if you're interested, just take a screenshot of this, please, all my leaders, if you haven't seen this before, because I have to tell you, when I woke up this morning and I saw this BOGO, I just gasped. I thought, uh-oh, I'm behind the 8 ball. So I'm drinking extra coffee this morning. You can tell I'm a little bit wired. I'm not usually this peppy, but I am. Swambi says to remind you that this is a U.S. NFR BOGO. So that's a US, not for resale BOGO. So if you are interested, you want to make sure that you're purchasing it the right way. Okay, last but not least, while we talk about stress, we always know that stress sometimes can affect our gut and that many people experience feelings of discomfort when they have their, when they do feel upset or stressed. And so the good for the gut is this month is our peppermint essential oil soft gels. Really wonderful addition. If you haven't tried these yet, I know some of you do suffer from some gut issues. I want to make sure that just in case, you know that this is the special for the month, and it is actually 25% off, which is a really big deal. Okay, so let's get started on our real, the meat of the matter. I'm going to ask you either to take some notes or maybe to write down in the chat or maybe punch some notes in your phone, because I'm going to be asking you some questions and I want to you to answer them honestly. Now you can answer them privately or you can answer them for yourself, but this is really the meat of our presentation. I want to make sure that all of you are able to answer the questions in a timely manner. So number 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, 0, not at all, right? And 10, this is a big problem. How often are you aware of being stressed in your daily life? Number 2, how concerned are you about the quantity and quality of your sleep? And number 3, how frequently do your emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? So you can tell me 1, 2, or 3 is a problem for you, but then you want to really kind of rate it for yourself, right? You're rating it from 1 to 10. I'm going to give you a minute to do this because I know it's a little bit complicated because you're trying to put it into the chat. Maybe all 3 of them are a problem for you. Maybe only 1 of them is a problem for you, but I want you to just look at it yourself. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I have been experiencing, certainly now during COVID. So how often am I aware of being stressed in my daily life? I have to say during COVID, I would say once a day, there's usually something that for about a 20-second to 30-second period, whether it's the news or it's something that somebody says that I feel, it kind of calls me up short. And I don't know if I was really feeling that before. Part of that has to do that I'm at home all the time. We're really not going out that much. And sometimes people will call me with maybe sad news. So invariably, almost every day, there's something that I just have that. But however, comparing it to my regular life before COVID, was there one thing that stressed me out every day? Probably. So that's my take on number one. Number two, how concerned are you about the quantity and quality of your sleep? And I mentioned this to people before. Oh, interesting. We're getting some terrific feedback in the chat. Marcia is saying 7, 8, and 5 for those questions. Betty is saying 8, 8, and 8. Wow, Betty. Danya is saying 5, 4, and 5. And Joyce is saying 6, 5, and 6. Okay, so those are some pretty big numbers. They're over the halfway mark. This is, I think, a good presentation for you. If you haven't heard this information before, I think this could be a great way for you to really look at what are some of the symptoms that you're feeling and how we can help you to resolve this. Thank you, everyone, for being so generous with your answers and also so open. I know sometimes it's hard to really talk about these types of things. But I think, and good for you, Anne just told me that number 1 is actually a 2 for her. So that's really good. So congratulations, Anne. We've got a couple of people. Angie's telling her that the question number 3 is a 2, but we've got some 7s, some 8s, some really high numbers out there. So I want to make sure that we're being mindful of everyone who's listening today. How concerned am I about the quantity and quality of my sleep? I have to say, in general, my sleep is pretty good. Last night, I probably got into bed a little bit late, and I mentioned to you because my 2 kids have been home from university. My son actually just went back on Saturday. We've been staying up so late. About 2 or 3 nights ago, apropos of nothing. We were not having a party or anything. We were up talking till almost 2 a.m. Okay, folks, when was the last time I was up till 2 a.m.? Never happens. But it means that when I get up in the morning, it's really kind of a struggle for me. And then how frequently do my emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? That's a big one. That's a big one. So sometimes emotions can be overwhelming to me. Now, manage them appropriately. That's another part of the phrase that I really want you to kind of look at. Do you feel emotional but able to manage your emotions appropriately? Those are some questions that you have to ask yourself. Okay, so let's start talking about how we rated ourselves. So these were our ratings, right? You gave yourself a rating. Let's talk about the hypothalamus and symptoms of chronic stress. So in the hypothalamus is a tiny control tower in your brain. When you're stressed, it orders the brain to send out the stress hormones, right? It is designed to protect you. It's not designed to harm you. And usually it has to do with some kind of imminent attack or threat. But if you are constantly under stress, what happens? We have these debilitating or devastating effects, both physical and mental. So we don't want our hypothalamus to be on high alert all the time. We need to be able to unwind, to relax, and really feel a sense of calm and peace. The symptoms of chronic stress can include things like irritability, headaches, or poor immune function, even increased blood pressure. And I'm sure you've heard this in the past. You've seen people that will get angry or frustrated or just even sad, and their whole face begins to become red. Well, that red has to do with blood rushing into the face, which can't be good for your general sense of well-being. Those kind of high highs and low lows, but especially we're talking today about those high highs and being on constant alert. Did you know that 70% of sleeping problems are related to psychological issues? So that's an interesting thing. That has everything to do from worry to sadness, anything where the brain is involved. Now, 15% can be environmental. Maybe your room is too hot or too cold or too noisy. And 15% can be medical. So we actually have some sort of a condition or something has happened to us that we're just feeling generally uncomfortable and unable to sleep. Increased cortisol levels also mean that melatonin levels aren't going to be able to rise to the level that they should for us to have restful sleep. And we all know that we need an increase in melatonin to be able to sleep. And you know that as the sun goes down, our body naturally begins to produce melatonin. So if you are in the habit of either pushing your day too late or getting up or staying up even until the sun shines again, you're going to have difficulty because you're working against your body clock. And so our body really wants to go to sleep when it begins to get dark and then wake up when it gets light again. So I've been having trouble at that far end, getting to sleep when it gets dark, but I'm still an early riser. This morning, my alarm was set for 6:45 a.m. and 6 a.m. or 6:15 a.m. My eyes, ding, opened up as they usually do. It's my internal clock focus. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that could help you. A nightly regimen could include Serenity soft gels and Copaiba soft gels. Why? Because Serenity can help to calm the nervous system, promote health and relaxation, and Copaiba soft gels can soothe anxious feelings and promote homeostasis and rest. I use this combination frequently when I can't get into a regular rhythm, or maybe I have something that's troubling me and I've woken up in the middle of the night. So for me, this is my go-to combination, Serenity and Copaiba. I also find it's very, very gentle on the stomach. So any of you who have any sort of stomach issues or are worried that taking two at the same time would make you feel even more upset, I never find any sort of stomach upset. And I've taken this in my own house when I've been traveling in hotels, when I'm in other people's houses. So it really is a great combination. An alternative nightly regimen might be adaptive soft gels with Copaiba. Again, adaptive can encourage relaxation, calms and promotes positive feelings. And then you could add in Yarrow Palm capsules. Now, many of you haven't been using, I think, your Yarrow Palm capsules as much. It was one of those supplements that kind of flew under the radar for a long time. I mentioned it last week when we talked about what did we talk about last week? Well, during our presentation last week, and we used Yarrow Palm as one of we talked about nutrition, and Yarrow Palm is one of those things can really work in several different ways. Terrific for the skin, great for relaxation, also terrific for improving all sorts of internal and external strength of organs and skin. So we're talking about cellular health when we're talking about Yarrow Palm. Also very important when you're trying to just feel a little bit better. Good support for the brain. So nightly regimen, you can do 1 and 2, Serenity and Copaiba, or 3, adaptive and Copaiba. Okay, some of my favorite essential oils for restful sleep are frankincense, vetiver, bergamot, and Roman chamomile. A great roll-on bottle, if you haven't produced any roll-on bottles lately, is combining 20 drops each of these 4 oils in a roller. And you're going to add that to fractionated coconut oil, applying it to the feet, the palms of the hands, and your pillow. You want to make sure that you're just kind of deeply breathing in this particular blend. You could put this in a diffuser if you wanted to, but I think particularly this is great. I've even taken, sometimes if I get up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep, I'll take a drop of vetiver in a capsule. Actually, I'll take 1 to 4 drops, depending on how agitated I'm feeling. And it never fails to help me to just get back into bed and get some restful sleep. It says here it's a natural tranquilizer. I find that it really just helps me to unwind, helps my body to relax. So if you've never used vetiver, maybe let me know in the chat how many of you have used vetiver for sleeping. I'd love to hear. And are you applying it or you're putting in a capsule? Megan says not yet. How about everybody else? Have you used vetiver for sleeping? And if you have, how did you use it? Applied it or took it in a capsule? Now, the bold ones around you might have actually taken it internally right under the tongue, but I don't know those people. Several people saying not used it yet. Some are saying in the, Pauline says, Marcia says not used it. Sauce, Kim says apply to the bottom of feet and diffuse. Angie says tried for drinking. I'm going to talk about some other essential oils, but these 4 right now, I have to say, really, really good. Danielle says she just started using it for sleep and she's applying it, and she's using Serenity also. Susie says, I use Serenity Soft Gel only and sleeps like a baby. Okay, I want to know specifically about these 4 oils because many of you might have used lavender already. And right, we love lavender. It is terrific. And I know it is one of the most commonly used oils for relaxation, but I'm going to let you in on a big secret. If you're talking to people about what they can use for sleep, they may already be using lavender, and they may already be using another brand of lavender. And I will tell you this, it's sometimes difficult to talk to a person about switching brands for the same thing. So if you're talking to people about essential oils and you want to help them maybe have better sleep, it might be easier for you if you're sharing, if you could share a completely different product. Now, vetiver may not be the first thing that you want to suggest to them because it does smell fairly strongly. But could you suggest perhaps Serenity or maybe even the Roman chamomile? Many people love Roman chamomile, and I have to say bergamot is one of my favorites. Okay. Now, when we talk about stress, sleep, and emotions, we also want to look at things like these 4 oils. These are kind of the OG favorites, right? These are when I started in doTERRA almost 8 years ago. These were the top 4 essential oils that I used again and again and again. We now have other blends, but these are really some of the original, the OG oils, as I said. So we've got things like Serenity, Balance, Citrus Bliss, and Elevation. When we're talking about whether we are fatigued or stressed, we have no peace or maybe no passion, these are the oils that you really want to look at. And if you've never seen a chart like this has been floating around for a while, maybe take a screenshot of it. It could be something that you could keep in your pocket or have it in your car, or just as you have it in your phone. These are some of the oils that you could suggest to people on a regular basis. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Adaptive Collection. This is one of those collections that came out a few years ago. Using the 3 together really gives you the most restful sleep. I like taking the adaptive capsules and using specifically the roll-on. I also use the adaptive calming blend if I have my diffuser on, but I do use the 3 either together or separately, but it's meant to use as a collection. So it is sold as a collection and each individual item is sold separately. I'm gonna give you some information about some great diffuser blends. I really like these blends. They are incorporating things like your adaptive, your forgive, your balance. You've got your citrus bliss and your elevation. There's just a little bit of everything. If you are a diffuser lover and you regularly use your diffuser, these might be some great blends for you to just get started on better sleep and relaxation. So if I were to say, and feel free to take a screenshot of this if you like. If I were to show you a sample wellness box, this is one of the boxes that I would talk to you about. I've got some 90-day plans coming up for you that I'm going to show you. This includes the Adaptive Collection, Wild Orange, Copaiba Soft Gels, and Balance for 131 PV and $145. That's US dollars. If you're in a different market, it's going to cost you probably, obviously, it's going to be a totally different pricing. So if I'm talking to you from, and I know that not all these products may be available in your market. Depending on what market you're in, you may have to purchase these products separately. Capsules may not be available to you. If you need to substitute, I'm going to give you some substitutions later. Obviously, you can use any of the oils that we talked about in the other presentation, earlier in the presentation. But I want you to also keep in mind that the reason why we're putting these boxes together is that it's easier for you to talk to someone. Someone is having difficulty with stress, sleep, and emotions. These are the types of things that you can suggest to them. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about amoebic. So if you are, this is, as you know, there's a technique called the Symphony of the Cells, where you apply the essential oils to the spine. It's a collection of massage protocols formulated to create harmony physically, emotionally, and spiritually. This is and it has several different protocols, but these are types of things. If you're applying fractionated coconut oil, first, liberally to the back, neck, and shoulders, and then apply 2 to 3 drops of each of the following oils all over the back and the feet. Rub in, then apply the next oil. So you're applying these in succession, right? You're not applying them all at once, kind of willy-nilly. You're doing one after the other, as we call layering. And so you can see some of the suggestions for the sleep and stress oils include things like frankincense, neroli, rose, jasmine, the carrier oil, of course, spikenard, melissa, a centering blend, and that could be balance or maybe even elevation, Douglas fir, and spearmint. And all of these can be included in your application of oils to the body. So something just to consider. If you haven't heard of Symphony of Cells, we're going to be talking about it in a future presentation. It's part of this 8-part series. Symphony of the Cells is a great way for you to introduce oils to other people. It works, I think, excellently, not only in tandem with some of our other techniques like AromaTouch technique, but also as a separate application of oils. And the group that put together Symphony of Cells, really has a lot of essential oil experience. I have a lot of respect for them. So if you haven't found out, I would do this at night, Chrissy. Yes, absolutely. If you haven't heard of Symphony of Cells, let me know in the chat. And if you have, I want to hear that too. And then we're going to talk about it in the next couple of weeks. Probably not next week, because next week we're going to be talking about all of our specials, and we're also going to be finding out what these new nutritional things are, right? We're so excited to find out what's actually going to happen in those 21 days. Okay, if I had a 90-day plan, if I was doing a 90-day plan for stress and sleep, I would make sure that month 1, I had my adaptive soft gels, my adaptive roll-on and blend, my Copaiba soft gels, my balance, and my wild orange. In month 2, I would make sure that I had either, and I'm assuming that you're doing this already, but I had my LLV or my daily nutrient pack. Good nutrition is going to go a long way towards supporting us in our sleep habits and also our ability to relax and manage stress. I would add in there my Serenity soft gels, Serenity or / Lavender Peace. I know many of you are calling this Lavender Peace. And then finally my Elevation. And then in my 3rd month, I would make sure that I had my yarrow palm capsules, my vetiver, my bergamot, and my Roman chamomile. So all of these things would give me a good base of essential oils that I could use on a daily basis. Some of the things I'll be using up right away, like my LLV or my daily nutrient pack. Other things I may be able to keep for a month or 2, which is why we want to have a blend over 90 days. We've got, would I do this at night? Yes, I absolutely would use some of these essential oils at night, Chrissy. And then Anne says that her mom has some can't get to sleep due to a ringing noise in her ear, and she uses lavender and lets her sleep better. I think that's terrific. I think whenever somebody finds a solution that works for them, it's like a miracle, right? Who doesn't want to have a great solution, especially using something natural? So congratulations, Anne, for introducing that to your mom. And she said, Anne actually says for her mom, it's actually better than going for acupuncture. So that's quite a testimony. I think that we want to make sure that we're suggesting things to people that they're able to use quickly and are not too complicated, right? Lavender certainly fits the bill. Serenity, I would think, would suit that also, and so would adaptive. So keep on trying and sharing with others. We talked a little bit last week about using oils, sharing oils, and teaching oils. We're going to touch on it again today, and I think over the next few weeks again. You know that there are 3 ways to share. You can refer people on a from time to time, and you can eventually get your oils for free. If you refer someone, you receive what's called a referral fee, or a bit of oh my goodness, a commission on some of the essential oils that you share. And then you can enroll friends for a little bit of extra income. And then finally, if you are interested, you can keep going and supplement or replace your income by actually building a team of friends and colleagues who love to share oils and are big and are users and are essential oil enthusiasts. If you're trying to pay for your product, you're going to have to maybe expend about 3 to 5 hours a week and personally enroll a few people a month. As you can see, on average, it takes someone about 3 months to reach the rank of elite and 18 months to reach the rank of silver. So during those 18 months, you're going to want to support the person that you're working with, make sure that they feel like they're on the right track, they're getting the information they need, because for someone to stick around for 18 months, it means that they need to have really a buddy or a friend that's going to help and support them. So you want to make sure that during those 18 months, they don't get discouraged, that they have exactly what the support that they need. If you're interested in supplementing your income or already supplementing your income, 10 to 15 hours per week should probably do it. That's like a part-time job here in the US. And you're going to be enrolling 4 customers and maybe 1 builder per month. Now, it doesn't mean that the first 4 people that you talk to are going to say yes, and they're going to want to buy essential oils. It may mean that you have to talk to maybe even twice this amount. So maybe 10 people over the course of a month for 4 people and 1 builder to enroll. And by builder, we mean someone who is as enthusiastic as you are about essential oils and would like to share them. To reach the level of gold, and we have some golds on the line. Thank you so much for being here today. It could take you an average of 27 months. So that's talking about a little over 2 years. And then with a high of 42 months for diamond, which is a little bit over 3 years. Now, none of these numbers are fixed in stone, right? It might take you less time. It might take you more time. It doesn't matter, really. This is not a race. All you're trying to do is spread the word of the good news of health to the people that are around you, and continue to open up your circle. I think this is, at least for me, has been a way for me to meet people all the time, constantly have something to talk about, and not, I don't know, just draw back into my shell. I think as we, especially during COVID, and I think sometimes as we age, we tend to become less social. So it's important for us, I think, to have something that we can be sharing with others that keeps us plugged in and active. If you're interested in replacing your current income, if you're working at a different job, 15 to 30 hours is about what you're going to have to expend, more like a full-time job. And you're going to need to work on enrolling 8 customers and 2 builders a month. And that's going to be on a regular basis. So you're going to be talking to quite a few people every month, probably double the amount. So sometimes they say 1 out of 4 people enrolls. So you may actually need additional people. And a customer could be someone who buys just one particular product, or winds up being someone who wants to purchase products on a regular basis, but maybe is not ready to share yet. That's why we have to always be talking to them about what's the next step, and are they interested. If you want to get your oils paid for, you're going to give someone a sample, of course, for something that is a big deal for them. I've talked about on here many times about how I had originally suffered with allergies when I first started using essential oils, and I would constantly offer people samples of things for allergies, and many of them would look at me like, why do I need this? But they maybe were too polite and wouldn't say anything. And finally, I realized, wait, maybe or maybe somebody told me, not everybody has allergies. And so what happened? I changed my approach, and I was able to really listen to what was troubling them. And then the ball really started rolling in my business. You want to tell them something that's cool about the three or that's about the essential oil that you're giving them. You don't want to give them too many samples because you don't want to overwhelm them. And you also want to tell them 3 ways to use them. The easiest 3 ways, of course, are topically, aromatically, and internally. You want to show them the kits. A lot of people love to buy kits. They feel like this is an integrated system. Things come together. They don't just get 1 bottle of essential oil and expect it to be sort of a miracle product for them. And just listen to them, right? It's the easy way. So you've got 4 steps, and then you're able to listen to them. You want to always carry samples with you if you possibly can. Here's one. Here we go. Okay, we're back. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. You want to carry samples with you, and you also want to make sure that you can provide them with a small amount of information. The other thing is you can use samples that you put together yourself, like in a keychain for your purse, or you can use doTERRA pre-packaged samples. There's tons of information available online. I know many of you are using different online systems. If you're using something that you love to share with, I want to hear about it in the chat. Are you using small bottles? Are you using prepackaged samples? Do you have a book or an app that you like? Let me know now in the chat. I'd really love to hear how you're sharing. So I'm going to hold on for a second. I want to hear, okay, where I'm seeing sample bottles. Tell me, and I'm going to have just a sip of coffee here. Roller bottles, sample bottles. Anyone else? Deep blue samples, that's great. Anyone providing any sort of information? I'd love to hear how you're providing information. Are you sending them to an app? Are you taking screenshots? Are you sending them links? What is it that you're doing? Maybe you're sending them these videos. That would be a cool thing. Let's see what you're doing. Tell me how you're sending them information. And I hope that after you've seen this video, you'll feel comfortable enough to maybe provide a small sample to someone that you know, maybe with this video, and say to them, hey, this is something that I saw today. Sending testimonies, okay, that's great. Sending links and PDFs. Shipei says they're a new member. Hello, welcome, I'm so glad you're here. So I guess you're getting a lot of information today, that's great. Links. Grace says sharing Zoom sessions and screenshots. Pushpa says giving away sample bottles. Betty says prepackaged samples, sample roller bottles, and roller bottles. Sharon says roller bottles. Okay, doTERRA website. Okay, terrific. Breathe samples, most people wearing a mask now. Thank you, Ben. That's a great suggestion. I'm sure everyone, I should actually take some breathe samples to the gym. Great idea. When I go to the gym, there's almost nobody there. It's just me, kind of the receptionist, and maybe 3 or 4 other people because we all have to make appointments. But that could be a really great suggestion. Thank you. Thanks for mentioning that. Okay, let's keep going. You also know that there are 4 ways that you can earn money. You can enroll others to earn. You can try first our Fast Start bonus, our Power of 3 bonus, our Unilevel bonus, and finally our Leadership bonus. You know that when you enroll somebody, you will receive 20% of everything that they purchase for the first 30 days. You at 10% of anything of a person that they enroll, and finally 5% on that 3rd level. You'll be paid weekly on new enrollees volume for their first 60 days. So that's pretty generous. And then finally, the enroller needs to, that's you, needs to process a 100 PV loyalty order to receive the bonus. The Fast Start bonus works as follows. If Lisa enrolls Megan, and Megan has 3 orders over a period of 60 days, Lisa will earn on those orders. As you can see, on the first order, she earns $45. On the second order, she earns $15.60. And on the third order, she earns $29.40. So pretty simple, but obviously Megan is a customer perhaps and not a sharer. If Megan were beginning to were to share, then Lisa could actually earn the Power of 3 bonus. If you and 3 of your team members are all ordering at least 100 PV and a max and for a total of 600 between the 4 of you, the power bonus. Power of 3 bonus is based on the structure of your team. So one of them is based just on purchases, just strictly purchases, and the other one is based on structure. doTERRA wants to encourage you to have a really good structure. Each member needs to place at least 100 PV minimum loyalty order. And each team needs 600 total volume to qualify for a Power of 3 bonus. And a team is you plus those 3 people. And you can see as you create these teams, you continue to earn an additional bonus. So at first you're earning a 50. If you keep building teams, you can make a 250 and finally a 1500. That's your third level Power of 3. Oops. To learn more effectively how to do this, you can sign up for free daily mentoring calls. Elise Chedevi, many of you know, she's an experienced, super experienced, triple diamond leader, and she leads you through the step-by-step process of building your business in 50 days. I love these texts and emails that she sends out. It is a very, very effective way and super fast. So if you are brand new and you are thinking of sharing, I have to say, try this out. Again, sign up for free at Daily Mentor Calls. Okay, one of my newest favorite quotes is actually from Greg Cook, and I know you heard this one last week, but I wanted to repeat it because some of you missed last week's presentation. When you share doTERRA products, you bring hope and wellness to the people you love, your community, and ultimately the world. You're selling the doTERRA way. Selling the doTERRA way is about service. So always remember you're in service to others. We're not just salespeople. We really are trying to help others to get healthier and to just find natural ways, natural solutions. One drop at a time and one person at a time, we are serving the world with wellness solutions. I wanted to, last but not least, I just wanted to mention that on Instagram, we have been running some contests, and over the next 2 to 3 weeks, certainly all during the time that the new nutritional program is being launched, we're going to be talking about there, answering your questions. We're going to be providing you some videos. So if you're on Instagram and you're interested in following and you want more information, I'm on there every single day, folks. So if you want to chit chat or send me a direct message, you can always send me a direct message through Instagram, and everything's under my name, so you can always find me. So look for me on Instagram as well. The ideas expressed in this presentation were primarily from the book, Essential Oils Healthcare for Today, A Beginner's Guide. If you haven't tried it, it has some of those 90-day plans that you saw earlier, and I hope that those will be a great addition to your repertoire as you're going forward. I want to say thank you to our Presidential Diamond team. Everybody who gets on here every week, I have to say, you have just formed a group of people that is mighty, and I'm really proud to be able to work with you on a regular basis. I don't get to see you except really here, so it's really wonderful for me when you turn on your cameras and I get to see your faces. It really makes my day, and it starts my week, at least for me, on a strong and positive note. I wake up on Mondays, I'm like, ready to go. Let's go do that call. Remember, you are amazing. No matter what I say or do, I mean, none of it really matters. It matters that we're together and that you are healthy and strong and that you feel like you're in the right place. And I hope that today we've been able to tell you a little bit about how you can continue to feel just a little bit less stressed and to have really good, solid sleep and get through this time as best that you can. Thank you. Thank you for having been here, and have a wonderful week. Okay, so now I'm going to answer some questions in the chat, as I always do. If any of you are you're still on the live, and remember, we're going to have the whoops. Did I stop the share? I think I did. Yes. We're going to have our drawing in about a minute. If you have used some of the essential oils that are on, that we talked about today, I'd love to hear about it. So let me know if you've used some of the essential oils that we talked about today. And if there's something you didn't use, then I'd love to hear that too. There we go. Finally stopped the share. Got to see my elephant. I don't know if you've seen that elephant before. Sometimes he's my last thing that I see so I know what's going on. Okay. Have you used some of the essential oils that were on the presentation today? Let me know. And today we are actually going to be giving away, I've been talking, I know, for a while. Actually, I didn't do too badly with all the things that we had to talk about today, including the BOGOs, the specials, the presentation, the sharing. There was a lot. Teresa, I can see your face. I hope you're still there. You're not bored to tears. It was a lot today. Last week when I talked, I went so far off that we wound up going to, well over an hour. And you know that in general, I don't like to do that. Today we're going to be actually giving away, so first you're telling me what have you used? Frankincense and Adaptive, Lavender and Balance. Okay, Adaptive and Balance, Pauline says. Tell me what else. I want to hear, what have you used? Danielle says Adaptive has been a lifesaver and she uses all 3 products. Megan says cute elephant. Thank you. Let me know if you've used something from this presentation already. Lavender and frankincense, Adaptive Roman chamomile and frankincense. Gracita says frankincense. Okay. If you have not used something, I want you to type in the chat, I'm going to try, and then let me know what it is. And I'm going to hold on for a second. I want to make sure that everybody's getting a little bit of time to tell. You're telling me, but you're also telling each other what it is that you're using. Grace Koo says Balance and Wild Orange in her diffuser now. Susie says she's Serenity Soft Gel, Adaptive Soft Gel, and Adaptive Touch. Okay, let me know if you haven't used something and you're willing to try. What is it that you're willing to try? Oh, Sue Lynn said she's going to try Petitgrain. Ooh, Adaptive Capsules. Wow, everybody's really flying into the chat. Let me know. Yarrow Palm. Yep. Benjamin says Adaptive and Rosemary. Danny says wants to try Yarrow Palm. A couple of people are telling us Yarrow Palm, Yarrow Palm. That's really exciting. They want to try the soft gel capsules for Copaiba. Really cool. Wow. Okay. Wendy says she wants to try Yarrow Palm. It's actually pretty funny. I think the Zoom, when you put it in the chat, it corrects to yellow palm, but I know that everybody knows it's yarrow, right? Yarrow is a flower. It actually is sometimes yellow or it can be white. It's like a fluffy, big sort of a tumbril. Sue Lynn says yarrow palm is the best. Once you start, you stop. Wow, we're getting some great chats. We have great comments in the chat. I hope you're on the chat and you're reading this along with me. So if you're on the live, you know that there's a lot. We are very interactive community. Shepe says, want to try every single oil currently have in hand are lavender, lemon, and cypress. Okay, so with lavender, you know, is great for relaxation. So you can try it maybe tonight. So NBC's Yarrow Palm is her favorite. And Bobby says, I love vetiver and frankincense. Okay, thank you for your sharing, everyone. This has been a wonderful time together. Let me open up, see how many, we got a great turnout today. I'm so excited. And I wanna make sure that we pick some winners. We're gonna be giving away actually 3, yes, 3. We're going to give away 3 prizes today. We're going to give away 3 Citrus Bliss. And the reason we're going to give away Citrus Bliss, interestingly enough, is because when I went on the chat today and I wanted to find the price of Citrus Bliss, it actually looked like Citrus Bliss might be out of stock. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. So if you're looking for Citrus Bliss and you win one today, well, then you are super lucky, because I think today's a good day to win some Citrus Bliss, right? Okay, and that was one of the oils that we recommended. All right, so our 3 winners today are Okay, our 3 winners today of the Citrus Bliss are Tech Lee Tan, Bobby Roca, and Shi Pei Yi. And I kept you on today when I usually don't, whoops, when I usually shut down the, I shut down the live. Oh my goodness, I am really getting crazy today. I'm like clicking everything all over the place. Let me say goodbye to our lives. Thank you everyone who was on the call today live. Congratulations to our winners. We will see you back again here next week. We're going to be making announcements about the new products that are coming out on the 1st. We're also going to be talking about next week's presentation. We're going to be talking about specials, absolutely, but guaranteed we're going to be talking about those the new nutritional program, Power of Healthy. So get ready next week, because I know that doTERRA is going to be coming out with a big launch of all sorts of things that we can listen to and that we can hear about, and also finding out how is it that it's going to help us. Okay, have a wonderful week, everyone. Thank you so much for having been here, and I'll see you back again next week, next Monday night, same time, 9 p.m. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye now.